Breaking up is all right. That's good. All right, listen, divorce can take its toll on anyone and brings up many, many questions. Here to talk about the whole divorce process, Jeff Abood. How are you doing?
Good to see you, Charlie.
Good to see you again.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Let's talk a little divorce. All right, the tax law just changed a little bit, so it's going to have some pretty big effects on people who are going through a divorce and have to pay spousal support. So before we go there,
yes,
spousal support, alimony as it's kind of known as well.
Sure.
When do people have to pay it? When does it come in?
Well, usually what happens is after a divorce, people start paying spousal support, which is alimony here in Michigan, right? We call it spousal support. Well, what happens is the person paying it usually gets to deduct it from their income taxes, and the person receiving it has to pay taxes on it as if it's an income. Well, moving forward, things are going to change.
Is that fair?
Is what fair?
Is that fair, having the person receiving it pay tax and the person paying it gets a deduction?
Well, technically it's an income to the person receiving it, and sometimes the person receiving it could be in a low income tax bracket to where it doesn't make much of a difference to them. It still always makes a difference. Nobody wants to pay taxes, but
nobody wants to
make a difference.
And
right?
A lot of people don't want to pay spousal support either.
That's true.
That's a big deal.
That's true.
So here's the deal. So now in 2019, not this year, but if you're thinking about getting a divorce, is it strategically now? There's some strategies about getting divorced in 18 as opposed to waiting to 19?
Well, nobody should ever rush to get a divorce.
That's true.
But if somebody is currently going through a divorce right now, it seems like it is a good idea for the person paying spousal support, of course, it seems like it is a good idea to wrap it up and get everything finalized by December 31st, 2018. Because my understanding is there's certain requirements, and if those requirements are met, then you still get to deduct the alimony payments as you make them. Some of those requirements are, it specifically has to say it is for alimony. You can no longer live in the same household as your spouse or ex-spouse, and it has to extinguish upon death. And there's certain requirements. If those requirements are in there and you list their social security number on your tax return, then at that point it would be deductible, is my understanding at this point.
So there's a lot of ramifications about the taxes. Also, I know you want to talk about, though, if you're in a long-term relationship in a divorce setting, goes through something. If I'm thinking about divorce and I come to you, what are you going to ask me? A couple things, just a little basics there.
And if you are married and long-term,
I'm married long-term, because that's where probably this is going
Absolutely.
to happen anyway. But what in general, what's going to happen?
Well, typically we're going to ask about your income versus your spouse's income, what your income earning potential is, what their income earning potential is, and also the size of the estate relative to what the income is and the length of the marriage. Because as I'm sure you know, in Michigan, alimony is not required. It's based on need and the ability to pay. So if somebody's walking out with a considerably large property settlement, then alimony might not even be necessary at all here.
Maybe some strategies that when you're going through a divorce. I understand that some of a number of Americans, the divorces or marriages are on a decline, right? Prenuptials. Are people now, before they're getting married, signing prenuptials, getting into that?
Well, I think people in their second, third marriages, or people that are more established and have been earning an income for a considerable period of time before getting married, are seriously considering prenuptial agreements and sometimes entering them. However, people when they're younger, just starting out their careers, usually it doesn't make as much sense.
They don't have
to
anything.
do a exactly. You can't protect anything in the future. You're just protecting what you already have, usually.
And you're looking for, especially if there's children from a first marriage, you want to do something perhaps if you're getting married again. Prenuptials are good for that.
It could be.
Yeah, those are pretty common though, aren't they?
They are absolutely.
What's the big, so if we had to summarize there, if you're thinking about a divorce, what should you know? What should we know about this?
Well, the most important thing is talk to an experienced divorce lawyer, and then also check with your accountant. And most experienced divorce lawyers are going to tell you, go consult with an accountant, consult with a CPA if you don't have one. They'll suggest someone to you, because again, all of this changes with the new tax law and everything right now is all new to everybody. So we want to make sure it makes sense to your specific needs as a client.
And last question on the child support.
Sure.
Tax law has nothing to do with that, right?
As far as I know, nothing at all, and child support's always been exempt, so there's no tax ramifications on child support whatsoever. You just pay it, and to the person receiving it, they don't pay taxes on it at all. It's treated the same way as a property settlement would be treated.
You like doing divorce work?
I enjoy it.
It's tough, isn't it? It's tough, isn't it? There.
So, we've got to help people out.
But you got to do
a good
it.
one.
All right, Jeff Abood, thanks so much. I appreciate it. We'll put your information on our website, fox2detroit.com.